All right, so we are back on the W.A.D.E concept presented by The Ring Magazine, and today Tom Aspinall has dropped his response to the allegations. Did Tom Aspinall quit in his fight versus Ciryl Gane at UFC 321? As you guys know, there was an eye poke, a bad eye poke. I still think accidental. And no, I don't think Tom Aspinall quit, but he has a thriving YouTube channel, and on said YouTube channel, he dropped a response, which was essentially a fight week vlog, which was leading up to his fight and the date of the fight, not to mention the aftermath of the fight, the stuff you normally don't get to see behind the scenes footage of fighters interacting and talking about what just happened to them. Tom Aspinall says this is the truth of what happened at UFC 321. The eye poke controversy revealed. Let's look at it. Let's break it down. Let's go.
Jason, are you reffing?
Yeah.
Watch this for this.
In the back of the head.
Okay, so yeah, you even see that's Tom's dad and coach, Andy, saying, watch this motherfucker doing this. And he's right, because Ciryl Gane does do that. He does have a little bit of hammer fist tendencies, again, even standing, that sometimes get behind the head. Again, I don't think it's intentionally him trying to hit people behind the head. I think he's probably looking for temple shots right around this area, which, by the way, this is a legal area. Behind the ear is not behind the head. Right here is a legal shot.
The best part about fouling, right, is that it works. So the best thing you can do is keep your head in the game, and I'll do everything I can to manage.
What did he just say? That's one of the worst things I think I've ever seen a referee say on camera. Because what does that even mean? The best thing about fouling is that it works. No, that should be a terrible thing about fouling. And I guess he's trying to get at, like, okay, well, if you focus on worrying about fouls while you're trying to fight, you're probably going to get hurt in other ways. Let me worry about the fouling. You worry about doing your job. But that's a terrible way to word it. and it's a terrible mindset to have for a fighter, is like telling a fighter the best thing about fouling is it works is not something you want your referee saying, because you're unintentionally maybe letting people know that they can get away with fouling. I think the better message would be, hey, if there are fouls, let me handle it. I will do my best to make sure that everything is sorted, but thank you for telling me what to look out for. I know he's joking a little bit, but like that attitude in MMA right now is one of the worst things about fouling in MMA, is that there is a very lenient application of the rules. I'll be honest. Like, even in this situation, as I've watched this play out more and more, it should have been, I should say, a 1-point deduction from Ciryl had the fight gone on. I don't know if there would have been. I usually there isn't. These guys will eye poke and get a verbal warning, and I'm like, what does a verbal warning do to the guy that just had his eyes poked and can't see? How does that help him? It doesn't. You just got away with poking a guy in the eyeballs. Or low blows and the same thing, fence grab, like all these different things that get warnings. And yes, there's a sliding scale of severity, but still, that shouldn't be the attitude about fouling in MMA. It's not the attitude anywhere else. You don't hear NBA referees or football referees or baseball, hey, you know, if you foul, the best thing about it is that it works. No, if you foul, you get penalized. It doesn't work. It actually works against you. That's the way it should be. And MMA's gotten it backwards. And Jason's one of the best in the game, but that's a weird thing to say, man.
Small advice. I know I'm not great like your father coach, but this is what, if I'm gonna give you, use everything what you do. Mix it up. Because sometimes you use boxing, separate wrestling, separate everything. When you use everything together, wrestling, pressure, boxing, everything, because you don't have this ability. He's striker, he move, he have good football, legs, touch, you know, but when you use your arms, you can take down the pressure, it's gonna be much better, yeah. Good luck.
Dude, Habib is just the man, isn't he? And the humility he shows, just, you know, hey, I'm not your father. Like, hey, I don't want you to think I'm trying to step on your dad's toes here, even though, you know, Tom's dad, Andy, asked Habib to speak to Tom. But he gives some sound advice, and you look at the fight for as long as it played out, Tom Aspinall was trying to do a little bit of that. Habib is saying, listen, mix everything that you're good at that he's not, right? You're a better grappler than he is. Boxing is your strength and your pressure. That is what Habib, I think, is if I'm trying to read what he's kind of saying to him without saying it, it's that. It's be so variable that the things you do well, he's afraid of in all aspects, so he doesn't know what's coming. And you have grappling, and they're, you know, essentially saying without saying that Ciryl does not, at least not on Tom's level. Fair play to Ciryl. He stuffed the first takedown. It wasn't the greatest shot from Tom, but you just got to love that advice from Habib. That's awesome.
207. Oh, God, this is horrible. Tom's still looking confident. He has got bit of blood coming out of his nose, which is never the best, but
you could see there were nerves on Tom Aspinall's team's faces. They definitely did not. I mean, maybe they expected Ciryl Gane to be good, and Tom was saying all the right things about how Ciryl Gane was not going to be an easy fight. It wasn't going to be an easy fight. But you can see there are nerves, and there's caution, and there is anxiety here. I think that Ciryl was better than they thought he was in this first round. That's what I think. And it wasn't like, again, Ciryl didn't dominate the first round. It was a good back and forth round that Ciryl was winning, but I think this night was going to be a puzzling one. In the grand scheme of things, this fight being a no contest and Tom getting to feel a little bit of what it's like to be in there with a guy like Ciryl Gane may be the best thing for him. He essentially got one round of sparring in with a guy that he's going to rematch without any consequences. No win, no loss, no belt changing hands. We'll see. Again, the eye thing we'll see. We're going to see in this video how his eye looked. If his eye is okay, this is probably a net good for both guys. For Tom Aspinall and for Ciryl Gane, they get a bit of a test run, a sparring session, essentially, to see what the other has and how to make adjustments going into the second fight. But at this moment, this is about 3.5 minutes into the fight, the nervousness on the, and again, these aren't people in the corner, but the nervousness on the people that have been around Tom, it shows you that they didn't necessarily think Ciryl was as good as he was, and that things were not going the way they'd planned.
there's rocks in there.
Yes. Bolton.
Yeah.
Bolton.
Oh, that's a bad eye poke, that. That is not something I would have expected. Tom is going to be absolutely gutted with that as well.
Happens, doesn't it?
Just hope he's all right. That's the most important thing, is that Tom's healthy and safe. If he can't see out of his eye, he really needs to check this. That's all that really matters. But I'm gutted for him. Absolutely gutted for him. Oh, right. I better get back.
It's got to be so deflating, man. It really does. Like, I said it in my last video, but the amount of time that Tom spent training, the amount of time he had spent out of the cage, and for those people that were upset at me for saying 2 years in the last video, I'm sorry. It was 15 months. But it was just a long time and a lot of ring rust, cage rust, whatever, to knock off for Tom, and he looked good. He looked good. He didn't look like he was getting his ass whipped, but he was in a proper fight, and he was losing it to that point. But it didn't look like he was getting just dominated or anything like that. He was up against a guy that was worthy of a world championship fight and a high-level striker that was putting it on him, and Tom was answering back.
That was 10 minutes ago.
Mate.
Forgot, mate.
That's the right decision.
It's the clearest video seeing two fingers in your eyes, mate.
Cold. You don't do anything.
You got one, at least once, maybe twice before you even did it.
Main thing is you're going to be okay.
First man also. All that training for that.
Don't worry about it.
It's going to be okay, mate.
It'll be okay. Sorry, guys.
So you can't see it there, but Tom says that Ciryl was warned once, maybe twice before he did it. I didn't see that on the broadcast. I can go back and maybe watch. And the warning I think he'd be referring to is a referee saying, watch your fingers when guys are, in their stance and that lead frame is out and the hand is maybe there or there and those fingers are out this way. Some guys are blatant with it and are out this way. That's a John Jones right there. That's how he be out, right? But if Ciryl is here and those fingers are, he's touching, hand fighting, and the hands are here, then sometimes you can hear a warning from the referee being like fingers, not like an official stop the fight warning number one. I think that's what he means when he says that.
When he first did it, I didn't think it was that bad. Can you open your eye now? Yeah, my eye's open now. Can you see the video?
Yeah, of course.
What's the bad one? He was opening his mouth a lot. Yeah. You were getting your range, and that was it. Finished.
And he was opening his mouth.
He was opening his mouth a lot. Yeah. You were getting your range, and that was it. Finished.
And he was opening his mouth.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Just a fan.
They said he was opening his mouth a lot. You were getting your range, and that was it. I think they're trying to insinuate that Ciryl was getting tired already. I don't know if that's the case. Tom getting his range, yeah, that's part of it. I think that he was starting to find his right hand, but I didn't see Ciryl like slowing down at the end of the round and starting to gas, or maybe his mouth was open at moments, but I didn't see him like visibly looking like he was gassed. And again, you're talking about a guy that's been 5 rounds multiple times. Tom has never seen a third round. Again, in these moments, you can't really judge what people are saying because they're emotionally heightened, and they're going to talk to their fighter in a way that, you know, they're seeing the fight, but also in a way to keep his confidence level high and, you know, not let him overthink about what just happened like they're doing. They're trying to do a good job being like, don't worry about it. It's fine. We're just going to go to the next one. Don't worry about it. Because Tom Aspinall in this moment doesn't know what's going on online, doesn't know that he's being called by half of MMA Twitter a quitter, and the other half are like, no, this isn't Tom's fault, and they have a brain. But you're seeing the kind of split, and he doesn't know any of this is going on. And if you let your thoughts and your emotions run wild here, you can kind of spiral. So this is a good job by Tom's team.
Hey, Tom, your left one's okay?
No.
The left one was really deep. The left one was really deep.
It's DC.
Yeah, sorry,
You got
but
warm twice before it.
Yeah,
Twice before you got warm for it.
Tom says again, twice he got warned for it. I have to go back and watch the broadcast, but when in real time, it's so hard because you're not watching Jason Herzog, you're watching the fighters. But Ciryl has gotten warned for it before. I think he got warned for it in the Ngannou fight about his fingers. But again, he's not like a serial eye poker, not that I've seen.
So we're just in an ambulance now. I'm in the front, Tom's in the back through there. I can't even put into words. As you've seen with the slow-mo, a lot of people will have seen it by now, but the slow-mo to both his eyes, but he's still, one of his eyes is shut.
See, the crazy thing about the slow-mo is, and this is what Cormier said, is that the one on the left, which the video's not mirrored, what you guys are seeing is, you're saying the right eye, but Tom is facing us, so it's actually his left eye, right? This is his left side, this is his right side. So his left eye seems like it's the worst one. But you never, like, these type of things are so difficult because none of us MMA fans or even fighters are eye experts. We don't know what is going to cause more damage to the eye. Is it going to be a quick scratch of the front of the eye where you just graze the eye, but it's the nail scratches the, cornea or whatever it is, that first layer that blinds you and you're like, oh my God, it burns? Or is it going to be worse to go deeper into your eye, pushing your eyeball back against your skull or into your brain or something? Like, we don't know. But, the way it looked, it would be the left eye that looked like it got way more damage. And this zoom in, too, and I don't mean to be that guy that's like, oh, Wade's running defense for Ciryl Gane. I'm not doing that. But you see what he's trying to do. At least I do. You see him, again, you see the hand is here. He's not trying to fucking gouge Tom in the eyes. When you zoom this out, he has kicked him with a left body kick, and he's using his hand to try to regain composure and balance by posting. Posting meaning he's going to take his hand and post it on Tom's face to push away so that he can regain his position. The problem is when Gane does this, and by the way, it's a normal thing to do. I know there's discussion happening right now about open hand palming versus closed hand, lead hand framing. Like, I don't really understand the argument for having a closed hand while you're framing. Like, yes, if you're in your stance, you want to keep it closed, but as soon as you attack, your hand's going to close. But if you're looking to frame or post on a shoulder, on a chest, on anything else, as you do something, or as punches are coming back and you're trying to catch and parry, the hand's going to remain open. It's MMA. This isn't boxing. The glove is going to remain open because you're trying to block, maybe wrist control after, or frame, maybe catch punches while you're framing. But there's never going to be a realistic case for always keeping your hand closed while you're trying to do stuff. It's never the case at all. But what happens with Ciryl here, and I said this in my last video, is that he tries to post on the face of Tom Aspinall, but his hand comes down, not straight out. And instead of posting straight, it comes down under his chin. And when it comes under his chin, the fingers naturally go to eye level. And then when he tries to push off at an extended hand, he can't push off with his palm because it's not on anything. It's under the chin. So instead, he has to dig and push off whatever he can grab. Again, it's fighting, dude. It's an accident, but
they've said that.
I think had the fight continued, I think you do need to take a point away here for Ciryl Gane. Had it continued.
That eye's blurry as well. That's faults in both eyes. But that one's worse. How far is it? Sit there. How far is it? Doesn't matter. Push you. Go on.
Okay.
So he is saying the left eye was blurry as well. So Tom really didn't have either eye. Again, for the people that are like, oh yeah, you got to fight with one eye. It seems like the way he's talking, he didn't even have clear vision out of the one eye, his left eye. So how was he supposed to fight?
Can you see out your right eye yet or not?
No, I can't. Well, I've got this one.
Yeah.
This eye blurry as well. You put me in both. This one. This one. You went near enough and pulled deep, mate. I could feel how deep it went now.
You were saying as well that he'd already tried to do it to you, weren't you? I heard you say that.
You already got one twice? At least once for poking.
See, again, they're saying he tried to do it to you. He tried to do it. I don't think he tried. I genuinely don't think that Ciryl Gane tried to poke him. I don't think that. Even with the event that happened earlier, there was another instance where Ciryl posted on Tom's face earlier in the fight that looked like he was close to poking him in the eye. But again, I don't think he's trying to do that. I don't know the sequence that led up to it, but Tom's head changed levels, and I think Ciryl was anticipating a strike. So when his hand comes out to try to post off what he maybe thought was going to be a kick or a punch low, his hand goes directly into the level change of Tom's head, and he, boom, posts on Tom's face. And again, he's trying to defend himself. He's trying to frame and post. Had he got him there, I still think points should be taken away, but the intentionality, maybe we shouldn't even be arguing about the intentionality of it, because what does it matter? If you poke a guy, you poke a guy, right? I don't want to attribute malicious intent like, look, Gane's a dirty cheat. He's trying to poke him at every turn. That's not what I think happened. There would be no reason to believe that's what would be happening, because again, you see the result. This didn't help Ciryl Gane. This didn't help him win. You risk, if you're going to do that and do it on purpose, the idea being, oh, I'll get an advantage. Well, no, you risk the fight being called off completely. So no, I can't wrap my mind around the people saying this is on purpose. It doesn't make any sense.
Keep his fingers close, the ref said. And he's nearly poked me in the eye before.
What's you were saying before when you were in the ambulance about eye pokes?
No, I'm just, you're not annoyed. It just is what it is. But the only thing I ever want is for him to come out of our fights all right, and the opponent to come out. And I think, only just thinking about it now, but the UFC will have fights of everybody on record. I just wonder if they have data of how many people poke people in the eyes or kick people in the groin and get away with it, and the fight carries on, and the guy, Mike Bisping, he lost his eye. It's just a horrendous thing to think as a parent, really. And I know what it's like these days with people saying what they want, but if it's just your son, and they could lose an eye through somebody who constantly pokes eyes. I'm not saying Ciryl does.
All right, so a couple things. Number one, he's clearly saying that Ciryl did this on purpose. I know that Andy's trying to be kind of, judicious about it. He's trying to be a little bit of a coy with what he's saying, but he's like, you wouldn't say, I wonder how many of the UFC data people there are to keep track of how many times before you've poked somebody or kicked him in the groin. He's clearly going, well, this is a pattern from Ciryl Gane, and they need to keep track of it for fighters that do this constantly. There would be no reason to just say that without it meaning like, yeah, Ciryl is doing this and he's doing it constantly. Again, I will reiterate, I don't think this was on purpose. And then he also brought up Mike Bisping losing his eye. That was because he got kicked in the head by saucy TRT Vitor. That was not because of an eye poke. I think, again, they're frustrated. They have every right to be frustrated. I think they're wrong about it being on purpose, but it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter. Tom got his opportunity taken away from him, and that really is in the entire story here. It's frustrating. It sucks. Again, there is a silver lining should Tom's eye recover well, and I think it will. They got a little bit of experience in there. Tom didn't have his greatest start by his own measure, and they get to go again.
Analyse the people who do it and not get them out of the sport, but have them tidy up the game so they don't go and kick people in between the legs, and they don't keep constantly poking people in eyes, because there's a lot of fighters do it and get away with it in the fight, win the fight, and everybody says after, they forget that they're going to get poked in the eye. And I just think it's unfair. And if it's your child and their health, and they've got children to look after, something needs doing about it. Yeah, it's horrendous for me to look at that.
It was a bad one.
How is he not disqualified off that?
It's outrageous.
See, the reason you can't go DQ there, and again, I understand the frustration. I don't even know if it's because of intentionality, right? Yes, if you could prove intentionality, then maybe you look at DQing. But Ciryl is arguably, not even arguably in my opinion, he's winning the round with an accidental, in my opinion, eye poke. Whilst winning the round, he's gonna get disqualified. I don't think that would even be fair. I'll be honest. I don't think that's even fair. Had this been later in the fight and you want to go to the judges' scorecards, maybe, or again, if you found some intentionality behind it, or if Ciryl Gane was down in the fight and he did that, then I can understand a DQ. But it's like I don't think it's worthy of the DQ right there. No contest is the right call. Had the fight gone on, you got to take a point.
And then people start booing me like it's my fault. It's double fault in the eye, mate. I was training for 14 months. Trust me, didn't want someone's finger knuckle deep in my eye. It's the last thing I wanted.
The YouTube closed captioning did Tom dirty, bro. He said, I didn't want someone's finger knuckle deep in my eye. And they said, I didn't want someone's finger knuckle deep in my ass.
Not good. I always just hope he's okay. That's the only thing. I just want him to come off all right. It's a sport. And what's it going to take to change something so people don't get really injured by being poked in the eye? It's not a hard job, surely.
It is, man. I think it is. I love Andy coming to obviously support his guy here and support his son, but it is a tough job. Everybody says, you take a point and it'll evaporate, But I don't think that's even true, right? Like, I think a point should be taken regardless if a fight continues after an eye poke. That's my opinion. But does that mean because you penalize fouls, people don't commit fouls? Of course not. Like, you penalize fouls in every sport and people still do it because most of the time it's not intentional. Most of the time you're competing and things happen. Fouls get committed. But that's not going to remove them from the sport. This sport is unlike any other, right, when it comes to the fouls and the consequences of those fouls. So it's not an easy answer, all right? I've proposed, changing the gloves to the Trevor Whitman style, the Pride style gloves. I've also proposed the 1 point taken, but that even won't fix everything. It's just fighting with open hands and open gloves are always going to be a problem. Unless you put boxing gloves on people, then you would do it. If you wanted this to become, kickboxing or MMA with gloves on, then yeah, that'll fix it for sure, but it'll change the sport inherently. This is one of the problems, just like groin kicks, man. Anytime there's a kick that is aimed for the inside of the leg and it goes awry, you can't eliminate groin kicks from the sport unless you say, okay, no kicking inside the leg, which fundamentally changes the sport. You know what I'm saying? Or no kicking in the belly area, no kicking to the body. You just can't do it. It's unfortunate, but that's just the sport.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
When you were getting into, they played the slow-mo and everyone just showed up straight away because you could just see how horrific it was. How's he not DQ'd though for that? I don't understand.
I don't get it. It feels like the back of my eyeballs hurt.
Just stinging.
It's not even stinging now, it's painful. It's like, it feels like my eye, someone's touched the back of my eyeball.
What probably happened, I'm assuming, I don't know, was that when Ciryl pushed on Tom's eyeball, his eyeball went further back than he's used to and touched the back of whatever that is, not actually Cyryl's finger, because it did look like on the right or the left side, his finger went a little deeper, but I think probably what happened was he pushed the eyeball further back and it touched whatever's back there.
Got you.
It weren't that bad at first. It didn't feel that bad.
How's it feeling now?
It's killing.
Stinging.
I don't know if I can see it or not because I've got this on.
Can you see it, Google?
Not really. I can a bit.
Can you read what it says on them doors there?
Nope. So say you've got your eye socket like that and then the eyeball sits in it there, like that.
Yeah.
It felt like his finger hit the back of the eye socket when he pushed it in.
Yeah, he definitely pushed Tom's eye to the back of the eye socket. That's clearly, I think, what happened.
I just couldn't see.
Most important thing, mate, is your health.
The only thing. The only thing that's important is your health. Nothing else matters. This other thing is just part of your life that you're doing. And you have another part of your life, and you need to be healthy for the other part.
That's outrageous, that. Just waiting, it's 2 AM. I think sleep might be off the cards tonight.
Yeah.
You were saying that as well.
Did you text thingy, Charlie?
If anything, this is you're done, aren't you? 'Cause it's not worth it for your eye, for your health.
I'm not. No. I really respect what Bisping's done. But he's done more than I would. I won't carry on fighting with one eye. No chance. No chance.
And good for him, because why would you, man? That's permanently life altering. I mean, when it happened to Bisping, he detached his retina, or partly detached his retina in the moment, which pretty much meant he was going to be blind in that eye regardless. But like, even continuing to fight when no commission should have ever let him fight again, it just shows the mentality Bisping had. These moments are sobering because it does show you that, yes, fighting is a sport, but it's also one of the most hazardous to your health in the long term, outside of, like, brain injuries, things like that. You have these issues with appendages, hands, arms, elbows, eyes, feet that you can maybe not ever repair. And that is the real danger of fighting.
See what they say.
There's no boxing.
UFC.
Hey man.
What is UFC? It's martial arts, right?
Yeah, in a cage.
Include like this?
Well,
No, that's illegal.
That's illegal, right?
Yes.
You're not supposed to do that.
Like, no, it's actually illegal. She's like, you can't do it? What the hell?
It's okay.
You want to feed you something?
I just felt, yeah, it's alright.
Okay. What's about your vision?
I can answer.
I have to
Ow.
check.
Okay, go on. It was actually both eyes, but this one was. We did like that.
What is his name?
Damn, she's fucking putting that light right in his eyeball.
Ah!
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but damn, she's like right up in his shit with that light, dude. I can barely handle the lights on me for my videos. She's like, all right, let me just check in there. Got a spotlight on him. It's her job, though. She's doing her job.
Oh.
When I pull up or what?
Just
or
burned.
when I put the light
Yeah,
in?
with the light.
With the light. Okay. Now we can cover it
Like,
again.
and we go it again.
There is no external features of trauma yet. Okay.
There's no external features of trauma. Now, I will say this, and this is not in any way, shape, or form to mitigate or minimize what Tom's going through. The people that are going to say that Tom faked this are going to use that moment as proof. I'm telling you now. And I think they're wrong for doing it. I think that's complete bullshit that just because she didn't see like a corneal abrasion or whatever else doesn't mean that Tom was able to see, doesn't mean that he was able to continue, doesn't mean that he quit or that he was looking for a way out. It just, to me, means that he was very lucky that there wasn't more damage to the eye, but people are going to take that and go, see, pussy. See, he could have fought. See, he could have, and they'll be wrong for that, but I'm just saying, this is why it's great to have this behind-the-scenes footage. It's awesome to see all this, but it may not do him any favors with that quote from the lady, with the casual fan base.
We're thrilled to keep rolling on this thing, don't we? Real uncut version. I'm en route to get the eye check now. Actually, my other eye, my good eye, is now getting really blurry as well, so I can hardly see out my good eye now. Done. Okay. Relax. No problem. Yeah, relax.
I love when like doctors or people that are not used to being on camera are on camera. It's so funny. Relax, buddy. I'll take care of this.
Yeah, it's actually both eyes, but this eye was.
Relax.
It feels really bright.
Yeah, relax. Look at me. Yeah, good. Don't worry. Okay?
Oh!
It will go after 2 minutes.
I think he probably put some solution, maybe like a eye drop in Tom's eye.
Just open and close. Is it easier now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at me.
And you know what? I don't even know how to say this, but like, you know, another problem with this is that if Tom in any way, shape, or form looks like he's fine, the people will be like, look, he's not even in pain. And if he looks like he's in like severe, past the point of you believing it's that severe pain, people will be like, look at this faker. He's acting because the camera's on him. He just can't win in these scenarios, which is why I think, you know, this video might not do him any favors for this part, but it isn't necessarily fair to judge any of that stuff at all. But I'm just saying, in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, as a content creator myself, I'm like, oh man, maybe they should have just not filmed this specific part, you know?
How many fingers?
I know.
Can't see at all?
No, I can't, but it just looks like you're doing that.
Right. Now.
No, sorry. Four.
Excellent. Look straight.
Oh, they're gonna shine that light in his eye again, dude.
Keep in
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Here it's clear. The vision is clear.
No, it's not clear, but it's not.
Even there not clear.
No, this one's not clear as well.
Okay, you can see this clearly. Just yeah, I know.
Just, they're just blinding this man, dude.
Just to see the eye and the retina, okay? Just relax. I'll make the light at the minimum, okay? Just tolerate with me. So, do you feel it's better now?
Not really.
Still?
It's nearly.
Doctor's like, still? You're in pain? Really? Doc, come on, bro. What are you doing?
Black.
Still black, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, look up. Up.
Oh, they're gonna give him more solution.
Close that open.
Andy.
Yep.
It's 3:15.
Let's look at those eyes again. Now, again, if you're looking at it, this is Tom's left eye, and you see that redness there. That, again, that looks like the more damaged one, and that would make sense because it looked like that was the one that got the worst of the eye poke. This one is a little red as well, but luckily they don't look like they're too badly damaged, which again, you had 5 minutes to recover. It wasn't like he got to spend an hour letting his eyes come back to baseline. So even if his eyes had recovered fully by this point, you still really couldn't say anything to him as far as like what it felt like in that moment. If you can't see for 5 minutes in that eye, it doesn't really matter if you can see 2, 3, 4 hours later, does it? Like, you needed to see to fight. You didn't need to see hours and hours later. So, again, I don't think that they maybe should have filmed this part. Just, again, for aesthetic purposes, for you know, narrative, if you will. But this is, you know, Tom's an honest guy. If he was going to film it, he was going to show the whole thing. But, again, I just feel like this gives ammo to people to be like, yeah, see, he wasn't actually hurt. Which, again, is bullshit, but I'm just... Again, I'm thinking of it in a narrative way.
Because of the eye drop itself, but the pain is less, right?
Yeah, the pain's alright.
Shine back in his eye again.
Now, you still see this blurry, or it's better
It's still
now?
blurry.
Yeah, but it's better now than before. Can you see the two?
See it there? See it there?
You can see this now?
2.
And this one?
3.
Yeah. If he stay here, I need to see him again on Monday.
Yeah.
If he doesn't stay here, then he must see somebody after 2 days. Okay?
Yeah, we can go and see.
Are you glad he stopped the fight as well?
Huh?
It's good that he stopped the fight.
Yeah. Of course. You should stop the fight until you are good again and until you're cleared from ophthalmology department from our side. After not for this visit, after the second visit, after make sure everything coming back to normal.
Yo, that's crazy. So you're sure they should have stopped? Again, this is the narrative stuff that they should have been doing off camera, not to make it look like, you know, again, the camera guy is making sure to remind the doctor to say that it's a good thing they stopped the fight. Of course, it's a good thing they stopped it, but I just think the narrative of this, if they wanted to do this, it could have been handled a little different, all right? It could have been handled a little better because they're like, it seems like now he's coaching the doctor, and it's like, let's not do that. But again, of course, it's a good thing that Tom didn't fight if he couldn't see.
The vision, I think everything. Okay?
Okay.
But we didn't find anything dangerous.
Okay. Good.
All right, there you go. He didn't find anything dangerous, which is good. I'm sorry. Again, that's good though. This tells me what I said a second ago makes the most sense. That this will be a very good learning experience for both fighters, and they're gonna have to run it back, and they'll probably get to run it back very quickly because Tom, I assume his eyes are gonna get better very quickly. All right, so there it is. Tom Aspinall breaks down from start to finish his fight day and the behind the scenes of the eye poke of doom. I think that this just reveals what I thought from the get-go to be true. Now, again, from Tom's team's perspective, they think there was probably some intentionality there. I don't agree. But I also don't agree that Tom quit. I don't think that he was looking for a way out. He faked it. He clearly got eye poked. And that is Ciryl Gane's fault, whether it was intentional or not. I think Tom made the right decision not to fight. And I think, luckily, there wasn't any permanent damage, which means we're going to get this thing rematched probably by the end of the year. I'll be honest, they could probably do it by the end of the year. Or for a January Paramount card. Open it up. There's going to be a lot of intrigue, a lot of interest based on what happened in the first fight and based on the narrative going into it that Tom maybe was going to run over Ciryl Gane. That didn't happen. Now the silver lining is there's more intrigue, more interest, and a bit more knowledge from both fighters on how the other fights, which is going to lead to, I think, an even better fight the second time around. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. What happens when Tom Aspinall fights Ciryl Gane the second time around? I don't have those answers, but guess we'll find out.